Does the overhead press build 3D delts? In my honest opinion, the answer is yes. Now I know there's a lot of people out there who claim that the overhead press is overrated, that you should be focusing on your side raises and all these isolation movements. And although there is some merit to these statements, like you should be doing your accessory work, I think that it's imperative that you develop a foundation of strength. And a foundation meaning a very strong overhead press. You see, it's like saying to a guy that he should focus on chest flies to build his chest when the dude has not even benched 315 for 5 pause. Like, I think it's more important that you take that bench press up to pause, right, really, really strong, and then you start icing the cake. Makes sense, right? Make the cake, then ice it later. So same thing for overhead pressing. I believe that you have to use a multitude of overhead pressing variations. Standard barbell, behind the neck, 2-arm dumbbell, 1-arm dumbbell, Z press, push press. I can name all kinds of movements, but the fact of the matter is this. If you're using a lot of vertical pressing variations, your shoulders, all sides, are going to get bigger because there's no way to escape it. Some overhead pressing variations hit the side delts more than the other. Some variations hit the rear delt more than the other. Some hit the front more than the other. And if you get strong at every single one of them, that's when you start getting that 3D delt development, especially when you combine it with the correct accessory exercises. Now look, and when I talk about accessory work, I'm not referring to those bullshit 20-pound side raises. I'm really talking about those explosive movements, the ones that allow you to use a heavy amount of weight, like power side raises. A couple weeks ago, you saw me do 85 pounds, man, without using much leg drive. That builds the shit out of your side delts. I'm talking about band face pulls. I'm talking about scarecrows. Band pull aparts. There's so many movements that are amazing. Reverse pec deck, crucifix holds. Guys, crucifix holds are the hardest overhead pressing variation, the hardest accessory movement you're ever going to try in your entire life. In fact, my man Alex Duckfield, when he was in his peak, like right now he's become a mobility specialist. I suggest you subscribe to him at Recognition Athletics if you have any problems related to mobility. But Alex Duckfield, he used to be really, really absurdly strong on the overhead press. Like, it doesn't even make sense. His genetic potential is so high on that movement, I don't know what it is. It's like he's built to do that movement, right? And at his peak, he was doing 35-pound dumbbell crucifix holds. Actually, I think he even went up to 40 pounds for 30 seconds, man, just holding it in that position. That is extremely difficult to do, I'm telling you. But guess what? It builds your overhead press. It results in a large overhead press. So you have to remember like this. The accessory work will build your 3D delts automatically while simultaneously strengthening your overhead press. And if your overhead press gets bigger, then it's only a benchmark of your delt development. You understand what I'm trying to say here? Similar to the bench press. If you take a 315 bench to 405, you're not just going to bench more to get better at benching. You're going to do a lot of accessory work for that. You're going to do close grip benching with bands, JM presses. And all these movements build your triceps, correct? So when you reach that 4 or 5 bench, although it was not intentional, your triceps got bigger because of this accessory work. So do you understand what I'm trying to say here? To get a large overhead press above 2 plates, it's not just doing the same movement. It requires a multitude of vertical pressing variations in addition to the special accessory movements. And it's the combination of all these things that gives you the 3D delts. Obviously, if you're following a minimalist program, just high frequency overhead pressing, and you manage to get strong at it, you're not going to have the delts. But if you run a maximized system, like I'm always talking about, using concurrent periodization, rotating special exercises, all that good stuff, you're going to have them. It's as simple as that. So think of it like this. If you run a maximized approach and you get strong overhead press, you get big delts. If you run a minimized approach, you get strong, but you don't get the big delts. So that's really about it, man. So I hope this video clarifies things. Let me know what you think down below. What's your best overhead press? Do you have nice delts? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys next time.